Hey fellow comrades, welcome back to more NU tier. Today, I decided to be having another NU just before we hit the road with our random Pokemon generator series. Probably gonna be working on it tomorrow, today. Then I'm probably gonna be jumping back to some more NU because I'm enjoying, especially now that stuff have been changing and coming down and going up and so forth. Anyways, Charizard expecting the Armaldo, he leads with his Skuntank. Go for the overheat and he switches out to Sock, which was very questionable. I didn't really understand the reasoning why in the world would he lead, well, not really lead with Sock, but why would he switch out to it? And overheat is gonna really do a massive amount, go down to his 30, gonna switch out to this guy with regenerate just to scout this girl, just to scout what kind of move he's gonna go for. Stone Edge, not a problem. I mean, Charizard, he's probably even Scarf, so he would have easily took down my Charizard if I did not make this switch. But switching out to Regirock as he switches out to his Skuntank again. I know he's gonna do this because Skuntank can run Pursuit, and that is just a problem I don't want to be in at the moment. So he does switch out to his Magmar. I'm gonna go for the rocks. Now his Armaldo is gonna get heavily damaged, and that's a problem with NU. The majority of Pokemon in NU that have Rapid Spin are mostly weak to Stealth Rocks, and I consider them very bad Rapid Spinners, just because they're weak to the most common move, and it's very hard to Rapid Spin after you're actually weak to it. It only works if the person really gives you the opportunity to do it. I'm gonna go for Rock Slide. Magmar, Focus Blast doing a hell of a lot of damage. Gonna guess he Specs, judging by the amount of damage that did. I guess his whole moveset is kinda risky on the whole missing part, so he switches out the Skuntank as taking the Rock Slide. Afterwards taking the Sandstorm, and then retaliate with the Sucker Punch and taking me out. I mean, I could have gotten, I could have go for the rest, but then again, there's a big possibility of me not running rest, seeing that I do have Sandstorm and Stealth Rocks, Rock Slide. Yeah, I don't really have rest to consider in using, but it's not a problem. Sandstorm, we're gonna see if that one is gonna turn out to be somehow useful in the next 3 turns or 2 turns. I'm not too sure. Charizard in this case becoming very useful, as Flamethrower is going to be a 2-shot on Aldino with Stealth Rock support. He's going to switch out to MBZ's Hair. Fortunately, MBZ's Hair, I mean, you switch out to MBZ's Hair, you are just asking for trouble, and make it double. So I'm going to go for the Flamethrower, get a burn MBZ's Hair. Very bad future for MBZ's Hair because he's just raging in power. Did it matter? Interesting question. When it comes down to this, when it comes down to the chances of burn, I could have switched out to Haunter and outspeed it because I'm a Scarf, but it depends on how he would play. He could have switched out Preserve, Rep Spin afterwards. The paths are opened, and you cannot really say if a certain hacks really mattered because again, it depends on him playing afterwards, how he would play his cards. But Charizard would have been taken out earlier, that is for certain. Anyway, Scoutland comes in. He actually surprised me, didn't go for the Sucker Punch there, or I'm guessing, seeing he didn't really do any damage to me. So I do take him down, that is great. He's gonna go for Rapid Spin, taking the opportunity to get rid of the rocks. The problem, I could have switched out to Haunter, but then again I cannot really one-shot it afterwards. So he's probably gonna be having the opportunity to take me out. So that's something I didn't really want to risk. Plus I know he's probably gonna go for Rapid Spin and then go for the mid-time match Stealth Rocks, which again is not a problem because my team isn't really weak to rocks to begin with. And I'm just gonna find another return. 3 returns were enough to take down Armaldo with Stealth Rock support. That is incredible. We're talking about a dog that was once OU, now it's NU, which is crazy. And with Manual Sandstorm, this thing is nothing to mess around with. But Sock is another thing that's really nothing to mess around with. As Sock comes in, retaliates with a close comment. I just stayed in, just in case. I don't want to switch out to Haunter. It's a very big essence, especially after seeing he does have Aldino, and I switch out with. He switches out to his Magmar afterwards. He does realize that Haunter Timid Scarf can naturally outspeed him, plus he is locked into close combat, so he's mostly forced into switching or pretty much doing absolutely no damage to me if for some forsaken reason Sludge Bomb would have missed, which would never happen. Still, his Magmar does go down by 2 Sludge Bombs, which does sort of confirm that it was probably Specs, because Magmar's natural special is actually pretty decent and with Evilite, I'm kind of guessing he could have took 2, but then again I may be wrong. Well, whatever the case, I switch out to Meganium, thinking, well, I can take 2 Stone Edges, get the Select Berry off, take him down, then threaten his next Pokemon. The guy gets a crit. I mean, on the most unfortunate turn, trying to get some damage in there, didn't really happen. I could have taken 2 Stone Edges, seeing how much it did with a crit, still didn't take me out. That does give opportunity to go to Haunter, break his Sock, realizing, you know, he did go for Stone Edge. I guess he was thinking that I'm something different, like a subset. He was still not too sure if I'm Scarf, but I will Scarf. And I switch out to my Future Sight user afterwards, as he does realize I don't run Magic Guard, I run Regenerate. And I know what you guys think right now. Well, Xenon, why in the world are you running Regenerate over Magic Guard? It doesn't have much sense, but in my case it does have some sense, because I have a Cleric in form of my Meganium if stuff come down to worse. Not to mention that I need Psychic and Future Sight both. Just because, you know, you can rely on one and then rely on the other. Then the other move slots are mostly for the coverage purpose, plus Regenerate and some really good bulk to it. Can give it for some scouting purposes, like against the Sogbet before, and, you know, kind of work with my team synergy in that case. And Dino, people consider it the NU Blissey, the NU Chansey. Really like Odino. You guys know that I once did a video about Dino's ability. I was so blown away by it, but it's one of the easiest Pokemon to set up on, and it doesn't have Psychnotos. That's a big drawback. It only has Return, and that I believe doesn't really come down to doing 100 base, because Odino's deck isn't all that great. Not to mention that he mostly relies on Toxic and so forth. Then Haunter can easily wall it completely. You know, I did trick it just to make it even worse, and that Odino didn't really stand a chance. So that was a very good match. We were only had like 2 Pokemon remaining, my Future Sight user and my Poison Ghost. Those 2 were remaining, and he had his Odino. So that was the game for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, click that like button. It helps this video grow. It helps my channel in general. Thank you very much. Till next time. Take care. Peace.